Welcome to Wealth Hustle 247 podcast, your trusted guide to financial literacy, business innovation, and entrepreneurial success. Learn how to grow your wealth, make informed decisions, and turn your ideas into profitable ventures.
Success is a habit. In this powerful podcast from the Rich Dad channel, Habits That Make You Rich by Robert Kiyosaki, discover the daily practices that set the wealthy apart. This AI-generated overview reveals actionable insights to transform your mindset, build wealth, and achieve financial freedom. Start building the habits that create a lifetime of success today.
Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive?
Always.
Today we're uncovering the story of Kim, a woman who went from, rock bottom to becoming a real estate millionaire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she credits a lot of her success to Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so we're going to be looking at this YouTube interview she did on the Rich Dad channel, and it's really fascinating. I mean, it's not just about the money, it's more about her resilience and, using real estate to actually make a positive impact.
Yeah, I think those stories are always the most interesting.
Totally. And you won't believe some of the things she did, like teaching her kids about money in a super unconventional way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and creating jobs and housing in her community and really making a difference. But first, let's rewind to the beginning. Kim's life takes this crazy turn when she goes through a divorce, gets excommunicated from her church, and ends up in a really tough financial spot.
Wow, talk about hitting rock bottom. That's a lot to deal with all at once. I can only imagine how overwhelming that must have been.
Absolutely. But she didn't give up. She could have just, stayed stuck, but instead she used it as a springboard. She went back to school, got her education degree, and while she was doing that, she was learning everything she could about wealth building. Like, seriously, she was spending hours at Barnes & Noble just reading books on finance and real estate.
She couldn't afford them, right? I remember reading that.
Yeah, she couldn't afford to buy them, so she'd just sit there and read them for free. And she even told the staff there that one day she'd be back to buy all those books when she was successful.
She did too. She actually kept that promise.
Isn't that amazing? Talk about determination. And speaking of believing in yourself, Kim was a huge fan of using vision boards.
Oh, yeah. The law of attraction in action.
Right. She would carefully choose pictures and images that represented her dream life, like really putting it out there. And you'll never guess who is on her vision board.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Bingo.
That's wild. I mean, how often does that happen?
I know, right? And get this, later on, she actually met Robert Kiyosaki at an awards event. She described it as like a Twilight Zone experience. Like, her vision board literally came to life.
That's insane. Talk about manifesting your dreams. That's pretty powerful.
Totally. But we can't forget about the huge role Rich Dad, Poor Dad played in Kim's journey.
Absolutely. That book has been so influential for so many people.
Yeah. For Kim, it was a total game changer. Like, it opened her eyes to a whole new way of thinking about money.
I feel like it's a book a lot of people maybe misunderstand, though. It's not about getting rich quick or anything. It's more about changing your mindset about money, right?
Exactly. It's about building assets that generate passive income, not just trading your time for a paycheck. And Kim really took those principles to heart. Like, one of her first big moves was actually saving her own home from foreclosure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was her entry point into the world of real estate. Talk about turning a crisis into an opportunity.
Absolutely. But didn't she start out as a teacher?
Yeah, she was an instructional aide first, and then became a vocational education teacher for adults with disabilities.
That's amazing. I see a connection there, though. Helping your students succeed and building a successful real estate business, they both involve empowering people.
Totally. And she was so smart about using her teaching income to finance her real estate investments. She was slowly building her portfolio until she could go full-time real estate. That's incredible discipline.
It is. And I love how she took this hands-on approach to managing her properties, too. Like,
Yeah.
She wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty and do repairs herself.
Oh, yeah. She even built strong relationships with her tenants. She wasn't just some faceless landlord. And remember that rich dad principle of buying the ugliest house in the nicest neighborhood? That was totally her strategy.
Yeah. Seeing the potential that others missed.
Yeah.
But she also took some pretty big risks, like using credit cards and withdrawing her retirement savings to finance a multi-unit property.
Yeah, that definitely raised my eyebrows when I heard that.
Yeah, but for her, it was a calculated risk. She had done her research, she knew the numbers and was confident she could make it work.
It paid off big time, too. And what's really interesting is how she applied the same financial savvy to raising her kids.
Oh, right. She had that whole unconventional allowance system going on.
Yeah, like most kids don't get much financial education in school.
Right?
So she decided to create her own system. She gave them a weekly allowance, but she encouraged them to negotiate, save, and even invest it.
It's so smart.
I know. Like her son realized he could negotiate for a higher allowance by explaining what he needed the extra money for and how he planned to use it.
It's a great lesson.
Right. And it worked. By the time they were teenagers, her kids had already built up significant savings.
Wow. That's amazing. And all because of her unique approach to teaching them about money. But her story isn't just about making money, is it? She's really passionate about giving back and making a difference.
Absolutely. She's all about using her wealth to create jobs and provide housing opportunities, especially for veterans and the elderly.
Which makes sense given her background.
Right. Like it all ties back to her values and her desire to make a positive impact. And she's got big plans for the future too, like developing properties and writing books. She's really driven to build a legacy that goes beyond just financial success.
That's inspiring.
So, what are your initial thoughts on Kim's story so far? What stands out to you?
I'm really struck by her resilience
Yeah.
and how she turned those really tough experiences into opportunities for growth. I mean, that's a powerful lesson for all of us. And you.
I think what resonates with me most is her commitment to giving back. It's not just about building wealth for herself, it's about using it to make a difference in the lives of others.
One thing that really stuck with me was it was just how much she emphasized giving back to her community.
Yeah, definitely.
Like she really, really loves being able to create jobs for people.
It's awesome.
It's so cool to see that perspective. Like it's not just about, the financial returns for her.
Right.
It's about making a real difference in people's lives.
Yeah, and she even talked about how her goal is to be able to say yes
Oh, wow.
whenever someone asks her for a job.
Really?
Yeah, like whether it's in one of her properties or a restaurant she owns or even like after school programs.
Wow.
She just wants to create opportunities for people to thrive.
That's a powerful vision.
It is.
And it totally ties into her ambition to keep growing her real estate holdings.
Right.
The more properties.
Yeah.
The more opportunities to provide jobs and support her community.
And speaking of ambition, Kim has set some pretty impressive goals for herself.
Oh, yeah.
Like she mentioned that she wants to own as many properties as Robert Kiyosaki himself.
Wow, now that's thinking big.
Right.
It's really inspiring to see that level of drive and determination.
Yeah.
It just shows how much she believes in her own potential.
And it's not just about real estate either. She's also exploring other avenues for impact, like writing books and getting involved in social causes that are close to her heart.
Interesting.
Like she's really passionate about helping people who are experiencing homelessness,
Okay.
especially those who have lost their homes due to circumstances beyond their control, like job loss.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's clear that compassion is a driving force behind everything she does.
I agree.
But let's shift gears a bit and dive into some of those specific real estate strategies that have helped Kim achieve such remarkable success.
Yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
One thing she emphasized was the importance of really becoming an expert in a specific area or niche
Okay.
rather than just chasing, random deals all over the place.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She actually compared it to investing in the stock market.
Oh, okay.
Like you wouldn't just blindly invest in any company, right? You do your research, learn about different industries, and focus on areas that you understand. So in real estate, it's about identifying a niche, whether it's a particular neighborhood or type of property or target market.
Okay.
And for Kim, that niche was the Crestline area.
Got it.
She really saw the potential there, even though others might have overlooked it.
Interesting.
She said that a lot of people make the mistake of looking for properties like they're looking for stocks, instead of focusing on a specific area and becoming a master of that market.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And Kim wasn't afraid to go against conventional wisdom either.
Oh, really?
Remember how she bought that triplex for only $40,000?
Oh, yeah. What a steal.
It was an incredible deal.
That's amazing.
It just goes to show that there are still, amazing opportunities out there if
Yeah.
you know where to look and you're willing to think outside the box.
Right.
And get this, she initially financed that deal using credit cards.
Whoa, really?
I know, it sounds risky.
Yeah.
But she had a solid plan and a lot of confidence in her ability to to turn it into a profitable investment.
That's a bold move.
It is.
But it's important to remember that this wasn't a reckless gamble.
No.
Like, Kim is all about calculated risks.
Right.
She had done her due diligence, crunched the numbers, and knew that the potential return on investment was worth it.
Exactly. And plus, she already had a strong track record of success with her previous investment.
Right.
This wasn't her first rodeo.
Exactly. She'd already built a solid foundation.
Yeah.
So this was just, the next strategic step in her growth plan.
Another important principle Kim highlighted was the need for financial discipline, even when faced with, tempting opportunities.
Yeah.
She mentioned that her husband has a rule about never owing more than 50% on any of their properties.
Oh, wow. That's a great rule.
Yeah.
That's setting some really healthy financial boundaries.
Yeah.
That helps mitigate risk and ensure long-term stability.
Totally.
You're not over-leveraging yourself, which can put you in a really vulnerable position.
And Kim acknowledged that while she does have some properties with higher leverage,
Okay.
she's always very careful to maintain a good balance within her overall portfolio.
Gotcha.
She prefers to have things paid off as much as possible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It gives her peace of mind and the freedom to pursue new opportunities without feeling financially strained.
Smart.
But I think it's important to point out that Kim was very honest about the challenges she faced along the way.
Yeah, for sure.
She didn't sugarcoat anything.
I agree.
She didn't try to portray her journey as some sort of effortless success story.
Right.
She talked about the tough times too,
Yeah.
which makes her even more relatable and inspiring.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, she was very real about the difficulties of dealing with tenants who don't always treat properties with respect.
Oh, yeah. That's tough.
Yeah, that's a common challenge for landlords.
For sure.
And it can be incredibly frustrating and emotionally draining.
Absolutely.
But Kim learned to detach herself from those situations and stay focused on the bigger picture.
That's a good skill to have.
She also stressed the importance of overcoming fear and self-doubt.
Yeah.
She said there were times when she had to push past her own limiting beliefs and just go for it.
That's such a powerful message.
Yeah.
We all have those inner voices
Right.
that try to hold us back, telling us we're not good enough or that we'll fail.
Totally.
But Kim's story shows us that we can break free from those limitations and achieve amazing things if we're willing to take that leap of faith.
So now I'm curious to hear from you.
Oh, yeah?
What challenges have you faced in pursuing your own financial goals?
Have you ever encountered those limiting beliefs that Kim talked about?
Yeah.
What did you do to overcome them?
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Remember, Kim's journey reminds us that we're not alone in these struggles.
Right.
Overcoming them is an essential part of growth and success.
And it's a testament to the fact that we can achieve incredible things even if our starting point isn't ideal.
Yeah, you don't have to start out, with all the advantage. It's about having that clear vision,
Yeah.
taking calculated risks,
Uh-huh.
and never giving up on your dreams.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into Kim's incredible journey, and I'm really excited to hear her thoughts on the future of real estate.
You too.
And her advice for those who are just starting out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She seems to have a really good grasp on where things are headed.
Totally. Like, she mentioned that she's planning to get her contractor's license and start developing her own properties from scratch.
Oh, wow. That's a smart move.
Yeah.
It allows her to, create value from the ground up
Yeah.
rather than just relying on existing properties.
Exactly.
Plus, it gives her more control over the quality and the design.
Right.
Make sure those projects really align with her vision.
And remember how passionate she is about providing housing for veterans and the elderly?
Oh, yeah.
This could be a fantastic way to create those tailored housing solutions that really meet their needs.
Absolutely. It's like the perfect example of how she's combining her business savvy with her social mission.
Totally. And, for those of you out there who are aspiring real estate investors, Kim had some really simple but powerful advice.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Start by reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Makes sense.
She credits that book with transforming her life,
Yeah.
and she believes it can do the same for others.
It's a classic for a reason.
Yeah, and the key takeaway from that book is really about shifting your mindset.
Right.
It's about moving away from that idea of just working for money
Uh-huh.
and embracing the concept of making money work for you.
Absolutely.
It's about building those assets like real estate
Yeah.
that generate that passive income.
Right.
So you're not just relying on your paycheck.
It's about taking control of your finances
Exactly.
and building a life where money's working for you,
Yes.
not the other way around.
And Kim also stressed the importance of finding mentors.
Oh, yeah.
and learning from those who have already achieved what you desire.
It's like, she didn't have a personal mentor in the beginning, right?
Right.
But she found guidance through books,
Yeah.
podcasts,
hmm
by studying the strategies of successful investors like Robert Kiyosaki.
And there are so many resources available to us these
Oh,
days.
absolutely.
So it's really about being proactive and seeking out that knowledge.
For sure. And she was really adamant about the importance of taking action.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not enough to just read about real estate investing.
Right.
You have to actually get out there and do it.
As Kim said, you got to do it for the right reason.
I like that.
For her, that reason is creating jobs and providing quality housing
Yeah.
for those who need it most.
It's about aligning your financial goals with your values.
Exactly. And so, as we wrap up our deep dive into Kim's journey,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with a final thought-provoking question.
Okay, hit us with it.
What is your why when it comes to financial success?
Ooh, good one.
What legacy do you want to build, both for yourself and for your community?
You know, Kim's story is such a powerful reminder that it's possible
Yeah.
to achieve financial freedom while also making a real difference in the world.
It's not just about the money itself.
Right.
It's about what you choose to do with it.
Absolutely.
So embrace your potential and let Kim's story inspire you to create a life of purpose and prosperity.
And until next time, keep learning
Keep growing.
and keep diving deep.
That's it for today's episode of Wealth Hustle 247. Be sure to follow, like, comment, and share with others. Keep pushing toward your goals, and we'll see you in the next episode.